21st of the 8th, 1879. The apparition of Knock brought a message of hope and consolation to the suffering people. It reminded them of God's presence and Our Lady's maternal care. Even in the middle of their trials and tribulations, all the witnesses reported back feeling of a tremendous sense of peace during the apparition. Right now, we're in the midst of a spiritual war of good versus evil. A war started off by our regime in Dublin, the parasites. We are a Christian country, yet our regime is bringing in as many Muslims as is possible to our sacred Christian homeland. Christianity is a religion of peace. We are christened, baptized into Christianity at approximately 3 months of age into our lives. We are brought up to love and respect our faith, our God, and our Blessed Virgin. Like any religion, there are bad apples in our midst, in the orchard. People who lose their faith and who don't believe. But that is a small majority. We celebrate every Christmas time the birth of Jesus. We celebrate Easter time, which marks the resurrection of Jesus. 3 days after his death. Easter is the joyful end to the Lenten season of fasting and penance. Being a Christian means living to the ways that are guided by Jesus' values, showing love, grace and mercy to others, even those that are different from us or don't like us being Christian. Means following the examples set by Jesus and striving to reflect a life that reflects his teachings. Now, let's take Islam. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a cult. It's an ideology of hatred, especially towards women and children in our society and us Christians. Islam has no God, but a Prophet Muhammad, a prophet that has many wives, all which are children, and the first being even 9 years of age. Muslims are, unlike Christians, brought up to hate and abuse those of a Christian faith. Brought up to hate and abuse women and children. Even now in some Muslim countries, the age of consent is 9, meaning that they can marry as many children as they want over 9 years of age. It's sickening, disgusting, and downright wrong. And I want to let that sink in for 1 second. It has already been proven across Europe that multiculturalism does not, will not, and never will not work, especially in a Christian country like our beloved Mother Era. In Christianity, we protect our women. We protect our children. In Islam faith, they treat them like animals. They take away all their civil liberties, and basically, they enslave them. Here in Mother Era, we will not accept this, especially here, where we're standing today in Knock. It is our most sacred holy ground. It's one of the top 5 worldwide. And yearly gatherings coming to Knock is somewhere in the region of about 1.5 million that comes to adore the Blessed Virgin Mary and Knock and their Christianity. We all stand here today in Knock, and Corky, you stand with us here in Knock, in spirit and in hope. We all stand here as Christians and the people of Era to say to our regime, the parasites, that we will not tolerate allowing any Muslim into our holy sacred site. We stand here to protect Knock. We vow to do and this includes me and all of you, we vowed to do whatever it takes in our lives, and even if our life, if needed, to do so. We're telling the government and the regime right now, and I'm sure somebody somewhere along the line is putting this across them, we're now telling them to stand down.
Yes, absolutely.
The people will not, and we will never back down. We'll never back down from the spiritual battle. And he signs us off with me, Aaron Gobra. That was quite a piece by Corky, and I wrote it as best I could, and I'm hoping that I give the man some justice by putting it across as best I could. Alright? I now want to go on ahead to a local man here.